Hello and welcome to this full moon in Capricorn. The energy of this full moon is intense. I wanted to share this little insight with you around what I've been feeling into for this full moon. And ultimately, every full moon, every time we come to a full moon, we go, wow, the energy is so intense. It's insane. It's all about release. It's all about what's being illuminated, what's coming forth. But this full moon has a flavor that just cannot be ignored. So, what this full moon is talking to me about, and with all of the other aspecting signs and everything else. So, the full moon is at 4:37 a.m. Australian Standard Time on Thursday, July the 14th. So, if you're listening to this around this time with the release of this podcast or watching it on YouTube, then the energy is really ripe for really asking yourself the deep, deep inner questions around who am I and what do I stand for? What am I doing here? And, what are even my talents? What's my magic? And this 21-degree Capricorn energy of this full moon, being the fact that we're in Cancer time, it is the time of the mother, it's time of nurturing, it is water, it's cardinal, it's that beautiful time that says it often says look after other people, but this full moon is flipping that tide a little bit. It's pushing us to look after others, but we need to bring it back to self. We need to bring back our Capricorn energy of what are my goals? What am I striving for? What am I climbing that mountain? You see, Capricorn's the mountain goat, and it will climb the highest mountain, but it'll also dive into the deepest of seas because it's the Capricorn Cancer axis. And as my beautiful mentor, Lynn Smith, says, the Capricorn Cancer axis is like the maturity and family systems. It's the axis of sitting in this watery depth, but yet our utmost inner potential. And so when we sit in this full moon axis, it's the same axis that we came into this year with. So the first new and full moon of the year are the Capricorn Cancer axis as well. And so there's a lot of similarities between the degree of where the moon's sitting and where Mercury is and all of the other bits and pieces that are irrelevant to the portals of energy that are opening for you right now. Right now, it's really about that gorgeous feeling of the Capricorn climbing the mountain, getting things done, having your goals. However, in this time, we can also burn out because we give too much. We can focus too much on others. We can sit in our own, we can ignore our own inner stuff because we're so focused on helping other people. However, when we bring it back to self and start to ask yourself, what are my internal goals? What is my deepest truth? And there's also sort of flavor at the moment that something might pop in that says, hey, I just need to do this, but it might not be something that you've ever thought about before. Please stop. Just if something pops in like that that's not come across your periphery in body, mind, or soul, meditate on it. Don't jump in head first without taking a breath. This is a red flag that says, wait, stop. Energy's pushing you in a direction that may not be to your greatest advantage. The best thing you can do right now is to figure out this really intense, emotionally charged full moon energy and ask yourself, what is being illuminated in me that I no longer need to carry? What is it that's being illuminated within me that is giving me insight and action towards what needs to change in my life. This is a demanding time of year. But when we balance this giving to everyone else and goals outside of ourselves and striving and achieving with coming into self care, with coming into that um, understanding of your own emotions, and even being this watery connection to source, you know, Pluto's playing this major role, this transformative death and rebirth role of what is it that you will carry forth into this next lunation cycle? What will you carry forth into this next 12-month cycle, into this next phase of your life? Because when we bring it back to self care and we create something that helps us to decipher our emotions, whether that be a piece of music, some art, writing, something that's tangible that you can actually look back on. Journaling at this time would be absolutely perfect because often we have all of these thoughts running through our heads, our feelings, our emotions are all over the place. We don't know what's going on, and yet we kind of feel like we might know, we don't know, but then we get pen to paper and we start to write them down. And when we reread it, we go, really? Was I really thinking that? Was I really thinking that I might go off and do that thing that I've never thought of doing before? And when you've got it on a piece of paper, you can actually start to go, oh, right, okay. So this is my deeper truth, or this is the collective energy trying to push me in a direction that maybe I don't need to go down. Maybe this is my deepest truth saying, yes, actually, there is something I've been working on for the last 2 months, 6 months, 2 years. And right now, there is a push of energy to say, yes, there's big change, there's big transformation happening. This might be the time to go forth and do that. But if you have those questions that say, am I meant to, in my life right now, be moving forward in this direction? Or should I stay still? Going within and meditating on that. And my way of meditating isn't always sitting up straight with my spine straight and pretending not to think about anything. I'll often put on a Spotify playlist that might be 15, 20 minutes long. If I have the space and time, I'll put on a longer one, but I will dance. See, a feminine way of meditating is to actually move. You can meditate while you're walking. You can meditate while you are dancing. You can meditate while you're cooking dinner. Just be careful of those knives. But when we're meditating, it's one pointed focusedness. And I was talking to a client the other day about this. It's like the 100% rule. Focused on one thing, and that will get shit done. But it'll also allow you to be present and in touch with that exact moment and being able to be with no mind and in body is a really beautiful place to be, and it's a meditative space. So I dance and then I'll sit down and I'll journal. So this full moon very much is about deciphering, investigating, being your emotional detective. How do I feel? What is my truth? And asking it those questions, as I said, about am I meant to move forward or am I meant to stay where I'm at? It might be a really good idea to look not just within, but also to the world around you. Not asking people's advice and all that sort of thing, but actually tangibly looking at some signs or omens that might be coming your way. Like, am I meant to move forward? And you're thinking of that while you're driving to the supermarket, and all of a sudden a car drives in front of you and you have to stop. You can see this as a sign. You could be looking at billboards. You could be looking at license plates. Something might pop up, might even be your social media feed. And if that's the case, then you take what you see and you decipher it through your own lens, not of your conditioning, but of your deeper truth, of your inner silence, of that place within you that, you know, hides your hidden treasures And with Pluto being, in aspect to the moon right now, and all of these other energies, there is an absolute accessibility right now for the universe to be open, for you to ask for what you want and for it to be delivered. On saying that, your five clair senses, your intuitive body, the aspect of senses like the clairsalience, clairgustance, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience are all the five senses, and they are the five intuitive types. But I will go into the five clear senses and how to access all of your five intuitive sites, and also how to figure out which of your five clear senses is your most active, and also how to deepen into that into another podcast in the next few weeks. But right now, if not if, because really there is no if. I feel like Yoda, there is no try, there is only do. So there is no if. It's like if is a cop out, it's an excuse. It's like make the time to start to sit with self, to dance with self, to be with self. And this is also bringing up another theme that I was speaking to with Michaela from Star Witch Astrology. And she was talking about this Cancer energy and the Capricorn doing, and the Cancer being the mother and the Capricorn being the goal and achieving and demanding energy. But for so many of us women who are stepping into our priestess energy, who are stepping into this sovereignty, but yet we still need to be mother, we still need to be, the provider, we still need to do all of these things in life, but yet our deepest yearning right now might be to go and retreat into a cave, which we cannot do for weeks on end. Most of us cannot do. I shouldn't say all, but most of us cannot do. Most of us find it tricky to find an hour to do that. However, right now is really important. If you can create your own inner cave somewhere in your home or outside that you can retreat into, and setting really firm boundaries with your family and your children to say, this is my space. And this might even be when the kids go to bed at night and you run a bath and you're in this cave of a beautiful dark bathroom with some candles and some scents and all that sort of juicy, beautiful things. And on that note, if you would like to get a copy of my bath and shower ritual, which I am so proud of and I absolutely love, because it just was birthed straight from my heart, from all of the beautiful bath rituals that I do for myself. Within my free app, go to any of the app stores to Awaken Divine Feminine, and you get access for free, a 7-day self-love challenge. And in that, one of the days gives you the bath and shower ritual and talks about self-care. So self-care is imperative in this time of year. It's also a time where we can, it's the midpoint of the year. It is setting those, it's not our New Year's resolution, but our mid-year resolution. It's the time to reassess the goals that we set at the start of the year, and even that New Year's resolution. And are we on track, or have we gone sideways? And bringing it back in and saying, well, did those goals fit me or did they not? This full moon that's coming upon us in, 18 hours or something like that. Oh, sorry, no, more than 24 hours. So about 30 hours is so deep and beautifully giving you the energy and access to releasing all of the things that have come into your life to say, I've learned from that, but I no longer need to hold that story. This full moon also is giving us the space to feel into what you have actually learned in your life and reflect on how far you've come. I am holding a full moon sacred women's circle on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And if you're listening to this afterwards, you can still get the replay. And this ritual is really, really beautiful to do, because when we look at how far we have come and we kind of look at how, Western culture praises men, how they move through all of these celebrations of boys becoming men and men becoming husbands. And, it's all this whole, the boy has become the man. But women tend to get a little bit overlooked in their change and transformations. And, that teen to woman is often, here's some Panadol and some pads, get over it. You'll get it every month, just suck it up. And then even the maiden to mother has been overlooked for a massive transformation for mum, because it's so focused on baby. These outdated ways of looking at how we actually move through our major life transitions needs to be shifted. And also, this is a time in our life where we can actually look back on what transitions in our life haven't been celebrated, and actually go in and play with that inner child, go in and play with that inner maiden, go in and talk to her, speak with her, see what she needs, see what it is that she needed at that time, and then do that for yourself. In Western culture, we tend to be praised for our minds and how hard we work, and we also tend to be told to sweep our emotions under the carpet and do not speak about them. I am a Scorpio moon type person, and if you know anything about what that means, my emotions are all over the place. They're big and they're beautiful and they're amazing, but they've been so loud and so scary, and at times I don't even know how I'm feeling, let alone the other people around me. So I've been conditioned to myself to believe that my emotions are scary. So I've been unable to access a lot of that depth because I put a lid on it for so long. However, in this full moon, this portal of energy, I get to say, hang on a minute, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I'm opening to. And these are the energies of myself, shadow side or not, that I've been told, or good or bad or whatever. They're all part of me. So I'm going to look at what they can give me and how to integrate these parts of me that potentially have been said are not okay or ugly or whatever else might have been coming up. The shadow side of life needs to be embraced. And when we think of the moon has no light in itself. This full moon is the brightness and illumination, the mirroring or reflection of the sun. And it's that sun soul energy that's then mixed with these deeper, moony, emotional aspects of self that when we bring those into balance, we can start to celebrate the shadow. We can start to look at society and say, you know what, the way society does emotions doesn't work for me. And this is my time to speak my truth, to bring voice back to women's business, to bring voice back to emotions, to bring voice back to your truth. Because for you to become the highest version of you, you must come into alignment with who you believe you are, not what anyone else has told you that you are, but who you truly believe that you are. And see, Capricorn, the sea goat, she climbs the mountain and she seeks success. This full moon invites you to explore